Even though we're not prepared, are we? All the articles are assigned to somebody. The last one we need.
The last one's not assigned.
Give it to Bendone.
All right, Bendone, that's you, buddy. Excuse me.
John is lazy. Doesn't go to the app.
I went to the app. I actually read that. I read the articles. So
if you went to the app and you read it, you didn't sign it to yourself. What does that say? You're lazy. John is lazy. Doesn't go to the app.
You say I didn't go to the app. I actually read that.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is CaseStudyQB, and we are in the pre-show. So we're going to go live and start the show exactly at 8 p.m. sharp. But right now, we just waiting for people to hop in the chat. PJ
like
Chris
Chris made it.
Yeah, Chris. How's the food? I heard you working on some food over there.
You're gonna bring us some poblano peppers tomorrow, some chile relleno. Just gonna share with everybody.
We are restricted mode again.
Are you serious?
Man,
so why did you get the night don't though?
You don't have restricted mode turned on your browser. Go to the settings and then turn restricted mode on, and they will hide us because we are so.
No, but why do you have it on by default?
I think it just came on default because conspiracies.
Hollywood is in the building. Branco Bamba is in the building.
We are live.
What's going on?
Branco Bamba.
So that's a new name that I haven't seen before. Branco, good to see you. Let us know where you at. What state?
New York.
So you're making fun of Barack Obama.
My street. Obama. But while we wait, let me look for something to play so we can get some patent.
I got some music for you.
Play some music.
No.
Check 1 2. You guys hear me good?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Test 1 2 3.
Good.
I think so.
Yeah.
But I heard an echo before. You guys hear echo?
No.
Nah.
No, okay, we're good. We're good.
No echoes.
Never heard back from Juan. I'll keep checking my email.
No, go back.
Hey, I got something that I'm going to play for you guys. Let me know if you can hear it. I'm going to bring it over here. Oh, I can't even hear it. Okay. I can't even know exactly.
I wish Zoom had better resolution. It's hard to see those videos.
I'm gonna play
law that bans police from lying. Illinois, the first state in the country to pass a law that bans police from lying to minors during
output.
You said
on YouTube it looks fine.
You still didn't hear the audio?
No audio.
Let me see.
Well, YouTube is different because he's streaming at a higher output than he's sharing it on Zoom.
Okay, I see. I saw what happened. I'm gonna play it back.
Yo, Case, by week 52,
Illinois,
you think we're gonna have this settled?
The country to pass a law that bans police from lying to minors during interrogations. That landmark legislation takes effect in January. NBC News correspondent Shaquille Brewster spoke with one man who says Illinois, the first state in the country to pass a law that bans police from lying to minors during interrogations. That landmark legislation takes effect in January.
That's the first thing that came to my mouth.
Correspondent Shaquille Brewster spoke with one man who says this ban could have saved 15 years of his life.
As the bill was signed, Terrell Swift was in tears considering what he'd lost.
This bill, I truly believe, could have saved my life.
Swift spent more than 15 years in prison, convicted of a rape and murder he didn't commit. Lied to by detectives and coerced into a confession during an interrogation without his attorney or his parents.
I was taken advantage of and manipulated by the police, but me being a 17-year-old, I was led to believe that if I worked with them or cooperated, I would go home.
Because they told you that?
Because they told me that.
SB 2122, Illinois becoming the first state to ban police from lying to or deceiving minors during interrogations.
False confessions have played a role in far too many wrongful convictions.
Until now, lying to suspects, including children, was legal in every state. Deception used as a common police tactic for decades.
We know that once deception is employed, innocent people feel absolutely cornered and are going to confess.
The Innocence Project reports 1 in 4 people cleared through DNA evidence had given a false confession.
Chicago is being the false confession capital of the world.
State Senator Robert Peters introduced the bill.
Should it be considered landmark legislation to say you can't lie to kids in interrogations?
It is a landmark piece of legislation. It's also kind of sad and upsetting because we shouldn't have been in this place in the first place.
All right, I'm gonna stop it there because it's like another couple minutes, 5 minutes and 45 seconds. But you guys get the point. Let me know if you want the full video. I could put it in the chat or something. But let's talk about it.
I mean, like it's 2021, and like you said, it's actually sad.
I mean that,
and we know who definitely get affected by this. You know, we know who typically the police is going to try to get to confession from. So is Latino and African Americans that may not understand, we feel scared, and they don't understand that they don't have to speak without a lawyer, or they can't think about if they could afford a lawyer or not. So that's great that we're taking a step forward, but it's sad that it's just the first state and that we're in 2021 and this is first time that it's happening.
It's sad that it has to happen, that it even has to be a law. It's sad that it never was a law, even if it, does need to be one.
Well, this happened because somebody took that to court and the Supreme Court said, police can lie. That's why they got to make it a law.
Yo, you serious? You said police can lie? 'Cause I heard that it went to the Supreme Court that the police did not need to know the law. I heard
that too.
So both of them, that they could lie and they could, oh my God. So I put a response on Twitter to this. I put that, okay, great. Now I'll put that the police can't lie, period, to anybody. Why does it have to be like just for kids? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But to them, they just want to get a conviction. They don't care if you're guilty or not. So to them, it's
they lied so they could be like, your boy already flipped. He told you did this and that. You might as well just fess up right now. You get a lighter sentence. And people are like, damn, I know I didn't do it, but if I don't plead guilty, I might go for a long time. So let me just do this. That's the same reason a lot of people are against cash bail, because people, they put the bail or like lying in this situation is just another reason for somebody, even though they're innocent, for them to just take it, just fess up because they can't afford to be in jail. They're going to lose their job, they got to feed their family, so they just take whatever and be like, all right, man, I just take a week. Or they lie about how much they're going to get too. So they're going to give you a lighter sentence, and then they end up doing 6 years instead of probation.
That's like exactly what happened with the Central Park 5 kids. They were all, lied to. They were all told that the other person was telling on them, and that's, they all ended up in a really terrible situation.
Crazy.
That's the thing with the Central Park dudes. This because I was arguing with this dude because he kept saying like, nah, show me proof that Trump is racist, and like I told him so many things about his history with with Rand and his family, and one of the things that Trump did that he still was like, nah, you lying, was that when the Central Park, they said they were innocent and they asked Trump about it, he was like, he didn't care. He's like, nah, do it anyway.
If I'm not mistaken, was this the ad that he put out? He put out an ad for something, or where he was, basically like treating them like savages.
Yeah, he had nothing to do with it. He just decided to put in big ad back in those days just for, I don't know, publicity for himself.
Yeah. By the way, go ahead, Gabe.
I was gonna say, just in relation to talking to the police in general, there's a great TikTok account. It's a lawyer that he just says, shut the F up when police talk to you. He's like, no matter what, just remember, shut the F up. I exercise my right, my Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination, and shut the F up. And where's my lawyer? And just don't talk because of all these things that I mentioned. And then, he's talking to adults But this is something it's sad that we have to talk to even our kids about this.
Yeah.
Because you never know, one day might be caught by these terrible cops, and it's good to see Illinois taking a step in the right direction, but that's just one state. So
like
this is one of the things that I actually told my kids about too. Like, just don't say anything. Just call me, call your mom, whatever. Don't say nothing.
But this
it doesn't matter if you didn't do anything. Don't say nothing.
This is something that there's certain things that's not taught to us. Like maybe what should be high school. There should be certain things that they need to teach us, and this might be having like a law class where they teach you your rights. You know, that should be maybe that should be mixed in with civics. You know, where when you talk to police, they know that you can say the Fifth Amendment. And also taxes, like learning how to do your taxes. That's something you could go to jail for if you don't do correctly. And they do not teach you this in basic school.
Yo, we talk about this Izzy because there was like a video or something, and then my daughter always talking about it, and we were both agree like, yeah, just that takes like what, a couple weeks and you're done. like people make a whole big deal about. They don't teach you the real things you need in life. And what am I going to need algebra for? Like, come on, man. You need basics. You never know what you're going to do in the future. You need a basic for a lot of things. If you're so preoccupied about doing taxes, that's easy. You can learn that real quick. And there's some things that people talk about that you should learn, but you should be learning at home anyway.
Well, there's a lot of difference between doing personal taxes on TurboTax and doing like business taxes and getting all the appropriate write-offs. And that's not that easy to learn.
Yeah, but are you supposed to learn that in high school?
You don't teach that in high school. Maybe you're not, if you take, extra credit class or whatever, or the people that take college classes while they're still in high school.
I rather than teach you like finance 101, how to handle your finances.
But I guess our point was that no matter what, all the stuff that we bring up, that can all be taught in like one semester.
Yeah.
You still have all these other semesters going through elementary, middle school, and high school.
So guess what? You're still going to learn algebra no matter what.
Right.
I mean, of all the math, algebra is like the most important because that's how you count your money. You got to make sure that you're getting your right percentages and what percentage this of this and all that. That's like critical math. Now, after that, it's more like, are you going to become an engineer or something? But algebra, I think everybody needs to know.
And the thing is, like, we're already so stupid as a country as it is and so uneducated. Like, how are we ever going to get new engineers, new mathematicians, new anything if we don't teach these kids young? Like, this is how they get inspired to do that stuff.
Yeah.
Artificial
intelligence.
Let's go to the chat. Real quick.
I interviewed a Russian woman one time and for like a business analyst role, and she came through and she's talking perfect English. She also spoke Russian, I believe another language. And then she saw me and she goes, "Oh, hablas español?" I was like, wow, she legit knows like 4 or 5 languages. Yeah. And I'm struggling to learn Spanish.
From what I understand, and then we're going to go to the chat, like in the Black Wall Street, we had our own schools, and it was actually teaching Latin, and it was teaching like the level of schooling that they were doing was like super high. Like over in Europe, they have that type of schooling where you learn like 3 different languages. Over here, you barely learn one other language. But
you don't even learn English,
right? I know. but before they blew up, Black Wall Street over there in, I believe, Tulsa, Oklahoma, man, they were doing some good stuff there. But fortunately, let's go to the chat and give some love. I'm gonna go all the way back to the beginning. And PJ Chris said, never heard back from Juan. That's a inside conversation with me and Chris. So don't worry about it. I chat with him. He knows that you're interested. And I told him to try to recruit you as a volunteer since you're in Florida and he needs volunteers. Juan Paredes, who was on the show last week running in Florida 26. So we definitely would love to give him a shout out. Send some coins if you can. And then let's go ahead. Let me see what else is going on. PJ Allen is in the building. PJ Neat, our guy. Let's see what else is going on. How's every other junkie this week? We're doing good. How's everybody doing? Let Neat know.
Doing good.
Everybody's good.
By the way, Chris said she said, well, you won't believe this, but someone hit the scratch off that she usually at the place where she usually plays, and she bought it at a different place. So here she was promising us to buy us all new computers and stuff for the show. Mm-hmm. We almost had it.
We almost had it. Oh Lord. Yeah, that'd be fun.
See, I have a friend who got out of jail in Ohio for murder. He didn't commit. The Innocent Project got him out. And they made a movie about it.
Yeah, the Georgia Innocence Project, or I guess the Georgia chapter of the Innocence Project is a place that I give money to.
Oh, nice. Yeah, they doing God's work over there, man. The Innocent Projects. That's why, if you didn't believe in getting rid of the death penalty before, definitely didn't.
So we're gonna start the show?
Where's the music?
Oh shoot, what time is it? Oh Lord, I didn't even notice. Hold on.
Oh my God.
Yeah. The official intro. What's up?
I'm about to get it right.
Oh snap. Somebody taking your job.
What are the over and under the music part?
Oh God.
What's happening?
Yeah, what's going on, everybody? This is CaseStudyQB. And we are getting things worked out over here, as you can tell. We'll figure it out one day.
Only episode 50. Don't worry about it.
We gotta, like I said before, we gotta keep the spontaneity going. You never know when we're gonna get it right with the music. I'm sure when I pressed the intro for the intro, I was like, wait a minute, that has its own music, and then Mano's playing his music. So I'm sure I didn't hear it on my end, but I'm sure you guys, that's what the reaction is all about. But much love to my team, my people, Carlito, Gabe, Izzy, Bendone, John. How y'all doing? Let's go around the horn. Carlito, how you doing, my man?
Yeah, I'm just hoping the internet stays up this week. It's already raining over here, thunderstorm, flash flood warnings, all of that. So
yeah. Are you following the Summer League Hawks? Are they doing anything?
Yeah, nobody cares about Summer League.
Oh, I'm loving the Summer League. My Knicks is doing making some moves. God. I love our picks.
You care about development of players. You don't care about winning or losing, because most of those guys are not going to be in the league. I think the Hawks play the Knicks tonight, though.
Yeah, okay. And I'm looking forward to when we start back the season. We got to get our revenge, but let's keep it moving. Gabe, my man, how you doing?
I'm good. Over here, I got I don't know if you guys can see that. It's a pretty big gash.
Yeah, what happened there?
That was a shark attack while I was swimming in the Bahamas.
You gotta be kidding me.
So no.
It
was not. It was not that exciting.
You said it was a pimp slap.
No, it was taking a bag out the car, so that was not that exciting. And then the other thing I wanted to shout out in my around the horn is the Senate passed a massive $1 trillion infrastructure package with 67 votes. So you know that when you get that kind of bipartisanship with 17 Republicans coming over, you know who wins. It's not us. It is not the people, because they only come together when it's something that screws us over. And 1 trillion seems to be a big, a nice compromise for them over getting even the Bernie Sanders 3.5 or 3.7, or what we need, which is really 10 trillion. So that's kind of bananas. But you know, what are we gonna do? We're gonna keep political junking over here and keep trying to save the world.
Yeah, we'll try.
Love your enthusiasm there.
Starting off strong. Izzy, how you doing, my man?
I'm gonna be enthusiastic talking about my Yankees, finally making a comeback. Yeah. All of a sudden my team exists again, so that's nice to talk about.
I thought you were done with baseball
I know, right?
5 weeks ago.
I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about? I never
said
like
they're doomed. I don't even care. The season's over.
We have it on YouTube.
How about them Red Sox, John?
Yeah, I know.
They still ahead of the Yankees. That's all that matters.
Give it another few days.
I don't know. Make the hot take right now.
We're talking about today. They still ahead of the Yankees.
Hot take is the Yankees are going to win the World Series in 2021. Hot take.
I like that. Let's hope for that happens. If it happens, we're gonna all play the lotto. See if we can.
For that, you have to make the playoff first.
Don't worry, it's coming.
Bendone, how you doing, my man?
Good, ready to go.
Ready to go. Thanks for being the DJ. We'll see if we can keep that going. Get it worked out.
No,
John,
we don't.
how you doing,
good.
John?
I'm doing good. Happy Monday.
Yeah.
We're getting ready to go back to school. So shout out to all my teachers out there, that constantly put themselves out there for our kids to learn. And, they still get underpaid, expected to come out $200 out of pocket to do supply. Just still don't understand how in the US, we expect teachers to come out with their own money to buy kids' supplies. So be nice to teachers out there. Yeah, as everybody's getting back they trying their best. They also have their own kids. So as we go back to another school year, let's 100%. Be nice to them.
I totally agree. All right,
the police need their tanks, though. The police need their tanks.
One thing, Bedon didn't mention the Call of Duty Championship this weekend, and two of his like star players are like they were COVID positive. So who knows if you're gonna play? You don't care? Now you don't care?
Sub me in.
All right, let's get to some politics now. All right, so I got the meme of the week. Honey, come look. I found some information all the world top scientists and doctors missed. So who found that? I forgot who found that. Posted that in the chat, in the Discord chat.
I think that was Bedon, right?
Bedon. What you think about this, man?
Oh, hilarious. Because everyone's a freaking scientist because of Google.
Everybody's an expert.
The research. I have to do my research.
So the no-call zone that we're going to get to later on is going to, I was curious because I saw somebody tweeted out like Charles Booker took away Medicare for All from his website, right? And I went back in the Wayback Machine or archive.org where you can look at previous website iterations. And to me, it looked like he never had Medicare for All on his website. So I was thinking this could be a good conversation. Does it matter that our progressive candidate has, and I'm talking specifically Medicare for All, so I'm not talking about any other progressive policy or anything else, but does it matter if he has Medicare for All on their website or not? So don't say anything now, guys. We'll save it for No Cow Zone later, see who's going to get canceled or not canceled, hopefully. But let's keep it moving. I think at this point, we'll go to our guy, Carlito, for the Carlitos run. You ready for me?
Yeah, man. Let's do it real quick, man. We got the many articles, so we could, if we got to talk, we could talk. If we don't, we move it quick. For my man, Mead. So let's go with the first article. Cuomo leaves, but a corrupt political culture remains in New York by Lee Harris at the American Prospect on prospect.org. All I got to say is a name got scratched off Case's enemies list. So whatever you're doing, keep doing it, Case.
Yeah, baby. I know our guy, Gavin, or not our guy, but Gavin Newsom. He's next, baby. He's about to get recalled. Unfortunately, a Republican will probably go in as his place. But hey, anyway, we could take him out from running for president in 2024. I'll take it. But go ahead.
So the article argues that the structure of state government with a centralized power and a few ethical checks invite scandal after scandal. Cuomo is the third governor in a row to leave office in a scandal. You guys remember Eliot Spitzer? Supposedly, he was paying, a sex worker or whatever. David Patterson before him, and the dozens of other scandals listed in the article and other levels of government. But the state is notorious for machine politics dating back to Tammany Hall. It's a mostly one-party state. Democrats have permanently controlled the state assembly, while until 2019, Republicans held the Senate near continuously since World War II. Most recently, when Cuomo encouraged the formation of the Independent Democratic Conference, IDC, a faction of Democrats who caucus with the GOP. Cuomo was described as so vindictive that he would give the Senate to the other party. So the governor of New York is very powerful. They kind of mend bills to the point of changing the laws so they like him. Do we think anything would change now that Cuomo is gone, is he?
No, but I was kind of surprised at the article. So it did list out, a good amount of people who have been corrupt over the years outside of just Cuomo. It really mostly focused on Cuomo though, and he's out now. So, that's objectively a good thing. The guy is terrible. There are 6 people on this panel right now. All 6 of us hate him. Like he needed to go. But what I'll also say is that even with all that quote unquote corruption, I mean, think about what we all want as progressives, right? We all want a living wage. We want taxpayer-funded college tuition. We want workers' rights and marijuana legalization and universal health care. We have almost all those things in New York, and most of them have been passed recently. So there's no doubt that the guy is objectively terrible. But at the same time, even with all this quote-unquote corruption, we have a $15 minimum wage legislation. We have taxpayer-funded college for low and middle-income students. Paid sick leave, the most progressive marijuana legislation in the country. Universal single-payer healthcare is hopefully coming soon. So, I don't know how with this corrupt government, but we're somehow pulling it off because you don't see most other states doing something like this. So, I don't know. Corruption for the win? I don't know.
I'm of two minds of this, Izzy, because on the one hand, Cuomo, he was horrible, needed to go. on the other hand, I like scared Cuomo, because the reason a lot of these things came to pass was because he was being investigated. So keeping him afraid the whole time, you know, that's what made him give us some things so he could stay around longer, so everybody could be like, look how good I am. So,
and also that conference that you were talking about, that Democratic conference, I don't think that it exists anymore. So we effectively, you know, took control over the whole state, governance, because we no longer had Democrats like I forget the Puerto Rican Trump that I always talk about on the show. I forget his name already. Diaz Senior. We didn't have people like him conferencing with the Republicans. So that was a big move too. That really helped us out a lot, on top of what you were just mentioning about Cuomo as well.
Yeah, you know what's interesting and funny is like when we were talking about back in 2019 or 2020 in March, when everything was happening, that he was getting all the publicity, and we were like, dude, Cuomo's as corrupt as they come. And the establishment was like, yeah, 2020, 24, Cuomo. And we were constantly telling like, dude, that guy has so many baggage. And people were like, oh, yeah, those Bernie bros are not happy only if it's Bernie. They don't like anyone. And look at this. Look at all that baggage that came out.
Well, people liked them because they thought, they needed a big mouth like Trump to go against Trump. I'm not down with that. So next story. United Healthcare guided Yale's groundbreaking surprise billing study by Rose Adams at The Intercept. In 2016, an academic study from some of the most respected scholars in healthcare economics prompted a national outcry. The study, published in New England Journal of Medicine by Yale University researchers, found that 22% of the time someone goes to an emergency room in a hospital covered by their insurance, they still receive costly bills after being treated by an out-of-network doctor. The practice, known as surprise billing, saddles Americans with $1,000 in debt per year. So Yale University researchers, huge study, they found this overbilling going on. In 2020, Congress passed bipartisan legislation to ban this surprise billing, citing the Yale study. All good, right? Well, not so fast. The data used by the researchers came from United Healthcare in a data sharing agreement that kept their names secret. Basically, United Healthcare was throwing their enemies under the bus. This was, for example, Team Health is one of the staffing agencies that they named in the study that once they take over hospitals, prices go up. But those same agencies filed a civil lawsuit against United and its subsidiaries because they lower out-of-network reimbursement rates for their own benefit, forcing the staffing companies to hike their own rates to make up the difference. So, I mean, ultimately, who cares as long as the data from United is accurate? But the problem is that at the end of the day, consumers are still the product. They're using our information for their back and forth. And these data sharing agreements can make it, they can make it so strong that they could even block their release if they don't like what that comes out. So I don't know, like Gabe likes to say, if you are not what is it, Dave? You're always the product.
If you're not paying for something, then you are the product. I forget who had that quote. I think it might have been Steve Jobs.
So in this case, even if you're paying for it, you're still the product. So what you think about this whole data sharing thing, Gabe?
I think there's a lot of layers to this. I was surprised, like reading the article it was like a lasagna. It was like layers and layers and layers going through it, because there's no doubt that Congress passing that bill in 2020 to ban surprise billing is a good thing, but the other layers that make it interesting are like Alito mentioned, that so first of all, United Healthcare said that they wanted to be anonymous, and they also would get editing rights over the paper before it would be published. So they said they wanted to have input. And one of the most interesting things was that when the first draft of the study was sent to them, they said, make sure to mention that the surprise billing things are by these two companies specifically by name, and also mention their percentage of the market share that they have. So they're using this study as a tool. In this case, there's a part of it that benefits the consumers, but at the same time, United Healthcare is not a what's the word? They're not a charity. There's always going to be an ulterior motive. So the fact that they're able to give this data sharing agreement with Yale, say that they can remain anonymous, and it's something that in this case, while it may have helped, what's going to happen next time, and how are they going to manipulate a study and reporting on that study in the future to make something that's not going to help the consumers. So what's the solution? The solution is just try to have better data sharing agreements in a case like this, where just allow them to share the data, them being United Healthcare, but then don't allow them to have final say or editing rights over the paper. We're going to publish what we publish based on the data you provide, but we're not going to send you an advanced copy so that you can PR it to death and make it and make it to your favor. We're going to try to make it as unbiased as possible, and we're just going to use the data you provide us.
Well, the problem is they might not want to give you the data if they can't get more.
Yeah, but this is also concerning, because when you do data, it's basically, how do we know that it wasn't 75% compared to 40%? Maybe they'll make it seem higher, but don't make it seem that high, because we don't want people to be outrageous. So there's that whole integrity of the data itself is questionable. Like I looked at this report, and I got something out of Congress, but I would look at it and I would be like, there's a lot more missing here than what they're really saying. Totally, if I was a betting man, I'll bet that it would be higher than they will actually put out there.
Yeah, well, at least I will trust the researchers a little bit more to try to get a clear picture, because they wouldn't want their work to be, false.
But the minute you say you allow someone to have a final say on the data, you lose kind of value in your research. Because that's the whole point of the saying is, we're going to tell you what the data says, regardless of, you're going to share, we may not agree to put your name out there or whatever, or the company's name, but that's what the data is. But the minute you say, yes, we agree to everything, you asking them to massage the data to be whatever you want it to be. So, which is really interesting that Yale will even agree to that. Like,
but I thought it was the publishing that they can edit, not the data.
Well, they get to see the data itself. So it's like, and what Gabe was saying, they will specifically name these two companies, and that right there, you're taking away,
and you wonder why would United want to help the consumers in the scenario. What they benefited from was these independent providers didn't want to come in their network. So because of that, now this is kind of strong arming them to join into their network so that United doesn't lose out on that profit. Because if somebody charges you independently, while it's a bad experience for the consumer, that's also money that United is not getting. So they use this as a negotiating tactic to strong arm more independent providers into the United network. So again, it's not a charity; it's a mafia, a middleman mafia, like how Kolinsky says.
The scam within the scam. They use it for propaganda, because they can say, "Man, healthcare is so high because of them. Look over there; it's not us."
Yep.
Okay, I just want to point out how sad it is that for Congress to act on something like this, like they need an article to be, created. We don't have like citizen lobbyists that would alert Congress to these type of things. There's the lobbyists for the big corporations for them to, keep $15. The restaurant lobby keeps $15 an hour from becoming the federal new minimum wage. You got all the oil lobbyists lobbying on their behalf. Why do we need like an article to raise outrage for Congress to act, and then they don't even act adequately?
Well, they should.
Not even an article.
Yeah. What they should really do is they got to pass some kind of a law that says, you have to report this data, what you're charging your patients, somewhere. Like you could take all the PII information out and you just put, all the information there. That's where you get it. And the hospital, whatever it is, whoever, and then someone could go in there and really do a research of everything that's happening, of the true data that's being reported. That's what they should have really done too.
100%. All right, let's move on to the next one. Then we're gonna go to the chat.
Well, one little funny, not funny, but one little interesting status. This was passed during the what do they call it? The lame duck session. So it was passed in December of 2020. So that was very interesting that they were able to get this through on a bipartisan measure during what's called the lame duck session in between the election and when Joe Biden was inaugurated. So that's very interesting timing.
So from the chat, Q was saying that Elizabeth Warren has been complaining about surprise billing for a while. So I wonder if she had anything to do with that bill.
Who?
Yeah, that's what John said. Where's
Liz? Where's she been nowadays? I haven't really heard a lot of her, so I wasn't trying to be funny.
I'm pretty, if she's talking about this, I'm pretty sure her name is on that bill.
She was in the footsteps.
Then Alan is saying, let's put our money together to hire one of those teams, like those lobbying teams. We could get everyone those new computers. So this is something you joke, but on a private chats, I keep telling these guys, man, if I was like a billionaire, I would definitely buy some Congress people, man. I would definitely do it. Like, no, I'm against money in politics, but if I could buy them to go for the people and then change the laws, I would definitely do it.
What would be your top issue that you would have them?
You wouldn't be
money in politics. Number one, money in politics.
You would buy them off to vote money out in politics.
Yeah, well, you only need a few, man. You only need a few, some swing votes. And especially in the House, they're cheap. Relatively cheap.
I mean, all you have to do is buy Nancy Pelosi some of those like ice cream that she likes.
I'm gonna pay you money so you don't take money.
Yeah, well, because they're doing it to get themselves rich. I'm gonna tell them, listen, me personally, I will make you rich so you don't have to take money from them. So they don't have to worry about it. They're so selfish, they're gonna get their money regardless. That's all they care about.
It's legalized.
I don't care who pays them.
It's legalized, so
yeah. Next, speaking about buying people, business consultants offered to buy ghost-written op-eds pressuring Arizona senators by Lee Fang at The Intercept. So the columns sharply warn Democratic senators Mark Kelly and Kristen Sinema to oppose civil litigation reform legislation designed to prevent Americans from being forced into binding arbitration. If enacted, the legislation would ensure consumers and employees' rights to pursue civil litigation against corporations rather than going through a private arbitrator. The catch, that consultants couldn't find local Arizona residents to author the columns. Instead, they're offering as much as $2,000 to help identify normal, everyday people willing to sign their names to pre-written arguments. So I just want to say this FAIR Act, this Forced Arbitration Injustice Repeal Act, is sponsored by Representative Hank Johnson, Democrat of my district in Georgia. Thank you very much, Mr. Johnson. So I just want to throw that out there. But the thing that surprised me the most about this is why they're trying to lobby Kirsten Sinema with this op-eds, in public when they can just buy her in private. What do you think about that, Bedon?
One, this article was confusing to me.
We appreciate the honesty.
But I think for me the hilarious part, and this is where I say I find it very interesting, is how lobbyists play a role in all this thing. That people really spend time out of the day to try to manipulate messages for other folks.
Full-time job.
I'm more shocked that they haven't found some people in Arizona because.
Well, the other part is yo, did you not really think of it all through? Let me go find Joe Schmo who wants $1,000 or $100 and say, hey, say that you submitted this article, and then just let it go.
All they really have to do is just to go to that red county. Just be like, okay, this is a Republican county. I'm sure we could find some of those people there.
Well, what they're doing now, and in unrelated issues, but all these town halls that are happening now is that they get some YouTubers that are conservative YouTubers or people that are in a lower level of position in the conservative Republican Party to pretend that they are normal everyday people, and then they put them in Fox News as this concerned mother from Florida, when in reality this concerned mother has a super PAC or something like that. So this thing about ghostwriting, they say here in the article that they had United Airlines lobbyists that ghost wrote a letter seeking to build support for curtailing competition from foreign airlines. Comcast, imagine middle fingers, consultants ghost wrote community letters in support of his bid to acquire Time Warner Cable. Lobbyists for the healthcare industry, probably United, they recently got caught ghostwriting opinion columns denouncing the Medicare for all health insurance system. So they all do it. They're all doing it, so it's nothing new. But, to me, I think, they in the chat, we're talking about lobbying, that's unions to me. They got this people, especially like the Chamber of Commerce, that's a union for businesses. The airline industry, that's the union for the airline industry. There's a union for the petroleum industry. So if they can't do it, we could do it.
Yeah, I think so. It's just you need the money though. These guys, commerce got.
That's
the
all you
money.
gotta do. Just start exploiting a whole bunch of workers so you can become a billionaire one day, and then take that money, buy off Congress people while also getting money out of Congress. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah, but billionaires shouldn't exist, so we can't get there.
That's what I'm saying. You have to exploit the workers first. This is all part of Carlito's plan.
Listen, while they exist,
I mean, if you don't
shouldn't, but they do.
If you don't take 99% of me, one day I'll get there.
Listen, when I'll worry about it when we get to it, all right?
Yo, so flow with me with my theory. I decided on a max. We talked about it a couple episodes ago on what would be the max salary somebody could make. I was thinking we should probably make it whatever the NBA max is. Because why? Because the NBA players, they work hard for, they're not exploiting anybody. They have to learn how to play basketball from when they're young to all the way where they are. So Steph Curry record has the second max, his second. I think he has the record for that. So what you guys think about that? I think it's like maybe $50 million a year.
You try to do that, and they're gonna be like, "Nah, you have to make it the soccer max because Messi's already making who knows how much money per year."
Oh, I wonder what that is. I thought that NBA had the because they have a good union. That's how they make so much
NBA
money.
gets they the third lowest or something like that. They don't even get paid like that.
What's the first two?
Baseball player.
If you want to go, yeah, it's guaranteed money, but it's. You want to go to baseball? You want to go to
but baseball plays
soccer,
80 more games.
You want to go to soccer? You want to go? That's where the money.
Okay.
Up there,
soccer has the money
in Europe.
Yeah, but soccer got the money for the really big superstars. I don't know about the.
What does NBA thing? NBA 20 out of the 30 teams lose money in the NBA.
Yeah,
we're getting a little off course here.
But let's imagine that for a second.
We could get into it, but let's just say that's accounting tricks.
So let me just imagine that for a world where let's stick with, keep it simple. $50 million is the max, right? So now you have Jeff Bezos, you have all these rich people, what's his name? Elon Musk, all these people that once they make over that 50 million and $1, that dollar gets taxed at, let's say, 95% from then on. What world?
Make it 100.
Better 100. I was going to see. I was being a little bit to the right, I guess. What would you say? I was compromising, but hey, I don't mind 100%. Hey, I'll go with Izzy on that one.
And
but
I wouldn't even go that far. Jesus.
So that means your NBA players are going to make what, $10,000?
No,
if the owners.
I'm saying over 50 million.
Yeah, but if the owners are not making money, the players ain't getting signed.
So that's making money. Nobody works. You don't got to worry about these owners, man.
That's what I'm saying. But if you're saying he's saying Jeff Bezos, right? So all these owners in the NBA, they're billionaires. So anything above that, you're taxing them. So if they don't have that money to give to those,
the organization would have then the money. That would be the accounting trick. The organization would have the money and the stuff.
Ain't no owner in this world is gonna make 50 million. Is gonna give Steph Curry 230 million.
Well, they're gonna be
over 5 years.
100%. You should get more, but let's say 75%. If you look at history, when the taxes were high, the corporate taxes were very high. The companies took that money to invest into the business.
I was just about to say that point. Yeah, good point, Carlito. Because now you could raise the wages and get better quality employees. Now, instead of paying them, $7.25, or even let's say it's $15 an hour, which is in a lot of places, that's not a great wage either. Now they can invest more in their employees and pay them $25 starting or $30 an hour starting.
Yeah, because it's not only players, you got to pay the people working the concessions. Yeah, you got the people, cleaning up after the game. Those are jobs that need to get paid too.
Yeah, but they contract all those out.
Exactly.
It's not like,
well, those people need to. Those people
directly. It's not directly. They were like, it's not directly the company. They like do a contract through another company.
And that's
another trick in order for them not to be responsible for their pay.
For their benefits too. So we got to put in a law for if you're going to get contractors for your business, then you're going to get taxed even higher. So we got to incentivize them to have full-time employees and give them the benefits. So anyway, with that said, let's go to the chat, give some shout out, unless Carlito had one more last thing. I didn't mean to cut you off, buddy.
Yeah, no, I think if we just have the universal law for like minimum wages and healthcare, we don't have to worry about whether they contract or not. Whoever has those employees is responsible for paying them a living wage, and they could just charge the owners more.
100%. All right. Anything in the chat? Any fun stuff before I put up this tweet?
I think over here they're talking about the money.
Baseball.
I still think baseball makes the most, the average and more.
Yeah,
and if you're a pitcher, you only play every like fifth game anyway, so you're good.
I mean, basketball players always take day off.
Nah, that's like a few. If you're big enough, superstar enough to demand that, you can. Allen was like a lead to number 1, give you money. 2, take money out of politics. 3, ? 4, profit. Yeah, that's how it goes. See, but don't represents that every man, every woman. Political sobriety, not junkie. What else we got? Our elected. Chris said our elected officials allow lobbyists to write laws. Fact. Who's that group that writes the laws? They basically give them the laws for them to put their name on it. I can't remember, but they have like these retreats where the Congress people and the senators go, and then they basically do presentations of what laws they want to block, and they give them model legislation to pass. I can't remember the name of them right now, but I hate them.
Yeah, definitely. I don't remember either. I think Last Week Tonight did a show on them.
Yeah, it's like ALEC. It's ALEC. Something legislative exchange council. Oh, there goes Holly Horn. She got it. ALEC. There we go. See, that's why we got the Junkies over here.
Yes. Good looking out, Holly. Yeah, so let's go to this tweet.
Hold on, 1 week Carlito's a socialist. The next week he's buying off politicians.
Who said that?
Gabe over here. Sometimes the ends justify the means, man. That's all I gotta say.
Hey, at all means necessary. That's what Malcolm X said, right? By all means necessary, we gonna get it done. All right, so let's go to this tweet real quick. I tweeted this out and David Doe picked it up, and I want us to discuss it real quick. I'm gonna play it and then we'll discuss it.
Can you give us a few of the salient horror stories that are embedded in this terrible budget?
Well, Pat, one thing they want to do is expand Medicare. That was something that Sanders always wanted. His thumbprints are all over this legislation, proposed legislation. Universal pre-K, child care, community college, elder care. Of course, they've always talked about doing away with student loans. But when it comes to Medicare, they want to lower the age. They want to expand it to include things like eye care, dental care, so forth. And in addition to that, Pat, one big thing on Sanders' list has been paid family medical leave. Now, right now, you can take family leave and go for 12 weeks, I guess, and still come back to the same position that you had on the job, but it's not paid. Imagine paying people for not being productive. Small businesses will not be able to afford that. You combine that with increases in the minimum wage, they'll be shutting their doors.
Oh my God. I cannot believe this. This is the worst thing I've heard in my life.
But you guys think I was like the horror of all these good things. Oh my goodness. Gabe, what you think about that?
You're gonna start paying people for the work that they do, and you're actually gonna give them a living wage. I mean, like, are you serious? How are you making that sound scary?
I think first comes the paid family leave, and then comes the internment camps.
Yeah.
So the communists are coming to eat your kids. They're coming to do everything. You look at all those scary things. The student loans. Oh no.
I really want to see like if they had a camera on like people watching that show, and then they're like, yeah. Wait, that actually sounds kind of good. Wait a minute. Wait, what?
I would like to be like a fly in the wall in these people's houses and see, like, you know, like their spouse or their kids. What do they say to, like, when they go out on TV and really say things like that on national television? Like, I would just love to just sit back and just listen to these people, like well, what goes on?
Yeah,
like they go there and say it with a straight face, and I'm just like,
you probably don't want to know. You probably really don't want to know.
So here's they think it's a show. They think it's a show because there's this some politicians that have talked about this, and basically they think that what they say on screen, we're talking about like some pundits plus politicians, it's like putting on a performance. When they leave there, they're all buddy chilling, like whatever they say on screen, they don't mean it. So the families, they all hang out together. They send these kids to the same private school of both parties, and they're just friends. They don't care. To them, that's like different. That's like their job. That's not them. That's like what they do. They're like actors. So when they come home, they're just doing their own barbecues and whatever together, and they don't care about that.
The racism is real, though. That's real for real.
So I just want to show you guys, these are the 9 moderate Democrats who are giving Nancy Pelosi a hard time when it comes to passing. They want to pass the bipartisan infrastructure bill right away. And we all know, and the progressives know, that that's going to take away leverage from the reconciliation $3.5 trillion bill. So we know that, right? Though as soon as they pass this bill, then they're going to be like, oh, I don't like that $3.5 trillion. I don't like that, that couple $1 billion there. I'm not voting for it. What you guys think about this?
I think I see someone that you like, Case, one of your faves.
Yeah, we got to get that guy. Where's he? I'm looking for his name. Oh, there, Kurt Schrader. Oh my goodness. This dude, he's officially added to the Case Study QB enemies list. And by the way, PJ Chris, I saw your comment where you wanted me to add DeSantis to the list. I don't waste space for the Republicans. They're like a given. They're a given. So I don't waste space for these. My enemies list is dedicated to these bad Democrats like Chris Cuomo and Gavin Newsom, and definitely Kurt Schrader's on that list. So anyway, what you guys think?
Shocking that he's on that list.
Yeah, we got to get him out. Henry Collier is on here as well. Jessica Cisneros just announced she's a Justice Democrat. So we're definitely looking forward to her knocking out Henry. She came very close last time. So this second time around, we see what happened with Cori Bush, where she won the second time around. So hopefully Henry, and that's surprising that Henry's sticking out his neck, knowing that last time he almost lost, and then just announced again. So he's still doing this. Man, he's confident, and
most people don't know what's happening with the infrastructure. Everybody's at brunch. If you go ask the Bedons, they're gonna be like, infrastructure. What are you talking about? That's a good thing.
We get 1.3. We're getting 1.8 trillion.
They're gonna cancel student loan.
Oh shoot!
I knew. Yeah,
I went to the wrong scene. My bad. But yeah, I'm looking forward to these guys. I like it when they show their cards though, because now they're putting their names on the list. They're putting their names out there, so now progressives know who to target and who we're going to be circling their name. When primary season comes around.
Yeah, I think Cisneros got a really good shot this time around. I hope that she definitely does it, but I think that this time around she may pull Cori Bush. But we know Texas. Texas, we know Democrats going to do everything in their power to protect their own. So we'll see.
It's going to be influx of money.
It's going to be interesting. Yeah, like if they go to Nina Turner, I don't know if we discussed this, or I think I might have mentioned this, that I think that Nina Turner should not have put out that poll showing that she was 35 points ahead too early, because that's when she signaled to all the establishment like, hey, come over and try to knock me out. Usually if you're establishment, you try to show that you're the alpha dog and you want to show that you raise the most money, and then being ahead in the poll, that's also showing that you're alpha dog. But if you're establishment, that might work. But if you're a progressive, you're just signaling to the establishment who got unlimited money to come into the race.
But I don't think that matter. I think that matter.
I don't.
They
It's
knew their
one
own
of the
polling.
things.
They know their own polling.
They know everything that happened. You know, they did what they had to do. The Republicans put another Republicans there, and it's what it is.
So let me make a quick case. So they were definitely going to get in the race regardless, because Nina Turner just has her brand. So they were definitely going to get in the race. But after that poll came out, like maybe a week later, or I don't know if it was right away, Hillary Clinton endorsed Chantel Brown.
And
right?
the next day, Nina Turner raised the most money ever.
Yeah. But if we could have waited, if she would have waited and not released that poll, right? Then it would have still been a debate on who they would have consolidated around. Maybe. I don't know. You think I'm thinking if they would have consolidated around Chantel Brown 2 months later, maybe that would have slowed down her brand. And maybe Nina could
that flood money came in, man, like boom. It was just like, here you go. And Republicans got involved. And if you lost, Brown lost her own district. That's
I know, right?
That's how bad you are. You can't win your own district. She won the Republican districts and stuff, you know.
The white districts and stuff like that. All right, let me throw out this. This is dedicated to my man Izzy.
A historic drought out west is about to enter a new chapter. The federal government is expected to declare its first ever Tier 1 water shortage at Lake Mead. That's the nation's largest reservoir. Now, the designation will trigger federal water restrictions across the West. And that's where we find NBC's Josh Letterman in Boulder City, Nevada. So, Josh, what does this designation really mean? And what states could see their water supplies affected?
Well, Jeff, you look at this hill behind me and how it changes colors right at the top. That's because that's the old water line. And all of this where I'm standing right now used to be underwater. This used to be Lake Mead. And I'll show you where Lake Mead sits now. Over the last 20 years or so, the lake has dropped about 130 feet in elevation due to growing drought that scientists say is a combination of both natural weather patterns as well as human-caused climate change. And in May, that water level hit a trigger point, falling below 1,075 feet, which set off this first ever water shortage declaration that's going to be issued in the next couple of hours by the federal government. And that means now the water levels, they're below 40%. And now we're going to have to see water cuts hitting multiple states, starting with Arizona, Nevada, and parts of Mexico. In total, 40 million people that rely on water from the Colorado River Basin. And so now a scramble to try to prepare for those cuts. I spoke with the head of the Southern Nevada Water Authority, who told me this about what they're worried about in the years ahead.
The 21st century has a lot less water for everybody to share than the 20th century did. I think what's incumbent upon the entire region is that we have a plan for that worst case scenario. Right now, we've planned for the very bad. We have not planned for the absolute worst.
The worst of these cuts are going to hit in Arizona, where they're going to lose about 8% of their total water supply in the state come January 1st. That's going to be focused mostly on agriculture, farmers who are going to have to find water elsewhere. But if this drought gets worse, as it is predicted to, in the future years, we could see Tier 2 and Tier 3 water cuts. That would potentially...
All right, that would potentially... I just want to show this one.
Absolutely.
That would potentially. Oh, that's not. All right. Anyway, so what you guys think about that, Izzy? What you thought about that, my man?
I mean, it's we've been hearing about it for a while now. We know Lake Mead is a huge water supplier for all these western desert states. It's just. I mean, you see the water levels, it's just insane. Like, and it's only going to continue to get worse. Even just this past week, we've had crazy, high temperatures in the hundreds on the East Coast. Yep. They're experiencing the same thing in the West Coast. It is now coast to coast where we're having these crazy heat waves that are just relentless. People are, we talked about drinking water for like Flint and stuff like that. We're not going to have drinking water at all. Like, it's just not even going to be a thing that exists, whether it's clean or not, because of these types of droughts. Like, we keep talking about climate change being an issue that's going to happen in the future, as if it's not already today, as if it's not already showing us some of its worth. And one of the guys in that clip was like, we're planning for the very bad. I don't even know that we're doing that.
Yeah.
What changes are we making right now? Honestly, what changes are we making?
Hold on, John. John, hold on one moment. That would potentially
cuts to cities like Phoenix, Tucson, even Las Vegas, Jeff.
That lake, Josh, or the lack of it, is just another glaring warning sign about the effects of climate change. Josh Letterman, thanks so much for that.
Finally, they're talking about climate change in the news. Like, if this was 4 years ago, they would just like go over that point, like, oh, there was a storm over here, and then keep it moving. But now they're kind of putting the pieces together, even though, like Izzy just said, like we're in climate change. Like, it's pretty much too late. They had the research, the studies that happened. It was released last week that said it's not a matter of it being too late and trying to do something to solve it completely. It's just how to mitigate it from being so bad. That was the research saying. But go ahead, John.
Yeah, the way they're prepping for the very bad is probably giving Nestle a contract to come in and do the same thing they did with Michigan and everything. So wouldn't be surprised if you see a contract with like Arizona and Nestle in the coming years.
That's for you guys. Ah, damn it. No, I'm just joking. All right, so let's go on to the next thing I want to show y'all. Oh, you know what? Let's do No Calzone. It's coming down to the wire. It's 8:48. So what do you guys think about progressives having Medicare for all on their website? We know they're progressive, or actually, Charles Booker's case, we know who he is, right? But let's talk about Charles Booker, and then we'll talk about somebody that we don't know. So let me just go around the horn. Carlito, what you think? Does it matter that a progressive has Medicare for all on their website?
Yes, it does. To a lot of people, that's the number one issue for them.
Yeah.
You got to have it up there.
Yeah.
Period.
All right, Gabe, what you think? My bad. Let me.
I think that I won't even think about donating or supporting a candidate if they don't have Medicare for all on their page.
Yeah, 100%.
So it's one of my litmus 100%. Tests is Medicare for all, $15 minimum wage. That's like beyond basic.
100%. Izzy.
Yeah, I'm really surprised by this. I mean, you're the one that found this, and I don't understand how he doesn't have it on his page, whether he ever did or not. It's kind of like unacceptable. I mean, I'm not saying he's canceled or whatever, but how does Charles Booker of all people not have this on his page? It's kind of like inexplicable.
Yeah. Bendone, what you think?
I don't think it matters.
Because it's not gonna pass.
Well, it depends. Ultimately, right? What matters is how he votes, right?
Yeah.
How do we know what he's gonna vote if he doesn't put it on his page, so we can't hold him to it?
Because he has Instagram clips, he has Twitter clips, YouTube Shorts. I don't know, social media.
So this is his website right here, right? I'm showing his website. It says Meet Charles Volunteer Store. This is the whole reason why we have the People's Gauntlet, right? Because I get so frustrated when I go to somebody's website and it's like me, donate to me, volunteer for me. Okay, well, as a constituent, hey, what you think about Medicare for all? Crickets. Look, I'm going to Meet Charles, and nice. I'm glad you were born and raised in Kentucky. I'm glad your husband and your son and your father.
Personal stories. Ain't nobody got time. Nobody cares your story.
What are you gonna do for me? I know you want me to volunteer for you. Here we go. Look, $27, $3. You want me to donate to you, but like, I put this out when Gary Chambers Jr. when he first put out his first website. That was a comment that I put, and I got flamed. That was the first time on my Case Study QB that I got flamed because people like, yo, delete this. And I was like, you know what? Let me make sure that he's the progressive in the race, obviously, but let me just make sure that I don't,
I had your back, man. I retweeted you and I argued with some people over it.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if you don't have an issues page, how do I know what you stand for? I don't have time to be reading through all your social media. One-stop shop.
Exactly.
You want me to anything about you? Boom. What you're about. How can I volunteer for you? How can I give you money?
Yeah.
All in one same place.
And if there's anything that the latest, that the Nina Turner race showed us, that the New York City mayoral race showed us, is that there are a lot of stupid people out there, or uninformed, or they just don't care enough. And if you end up in a race, not that this is going to be that, but I'm just saying, if you end up in a race that has a lot of candidates, a lot of people running in a primary or something like that, you need to be able to distinguish yourself.
Thank you.
And for someone who cares about Medicare for all, that's the first thing that they're going to look for, which is most progressives.
Listen,
so, we all know about Booker, but a lot of people don't. Sorry, Dave. Go ahead.
Are you going to ask for my opinion, or my opinion doesn't matter?
John doesn't matter.
Oh, no. All right, first go to Gabe and then go to John. Go to.
I mean, go to the chat. Everybody about the
page.
Go to the page. You even get to me.
Gabe, wait. Go to Gabe and then go to John.
No, go to John and then go to Gabe.
No. Go to the chat. Go to the chat.
All right, go to John.
Go to the chat. Go wherever you want.
Go ahead. John, go ahead.
Jesus. I'm gonna be the one that's gonna get canceled.
He's the main Booker stand in here.
Exactly. He don't even care about my opinion. And the thing is, I want to say it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, I think it's a move that we always talked about, right? The word is the same thing with the word progressive or Medicare for all. There's people that want to look at it, but you got to also look at, like what Vendon was in a way was saying, like a lot of his ad, he talks about it. And you got to look in a state like Kentucky. A lot of people are against Medicare for all, because they all love their Affordable Care Act, but they hate Obamacare. So that may be a move that he's trying to get more Kentuckians to kind of like understand. But if you look at his Twitter, if you look at his previous history and stuff like that, I think you've seen it. But I think we can't just go in like, oh, we're just going to cancel somebody because
ain't nobody canceling him. Ain't nobody
no, I'm not canceling. But you say that, no. What I'm saying is Case always says that's my all be all. Like if I don't have Medicare for all on the website, then you're not a progressive. Like we have to look into and we also have to look into it, like the word Medicare for all, depending on where we are, is scare people. Like you see that in your website, they be like, I don't really care about this guy. And there may be things that will be like, okay, well, he is by it. It's on his ads, it's on all the part of the platform. But some people may just go straight to a website and they automatically just take somebody off just because of that. And it may be a move that he's trying to play off. And it may pay off though.
I mean, it's fine for Gabe if that's his thing. Gabe doesn't have support. He's not in Kentucky anyway, so it doesn't matter. But he could still have a page talking about, increasing healthcare. Just the issues that you care about. He still need an issues page, even if he doesn't say Medicare for all on there.
Even the corporate Democrats, they have a page that will say like increase access to healthcare, like all those buzzwords.
Yeah.
So you have a problem that he doesn't have an issue page, now that he doesn't say Medicare for all. That was the question.
Both.
The question. So I have more problem that there may be not an issue page, but I personally don't really care if a candidate doesn't specifically say Medicare for all, because it may be a way that they're trying to get other voters,
That's fine.
I'll tell you this much. Sometimes, or a lot of times, it doesn't have Medicare for all, but I do look for the buzzwords. So if you say single payer, I give you credit, because single payer is basically Medicare for all. And but there's times that I'm looking at people who are potentially People's Gauntlets candidates, and I look at their website and they don't have Medicare for all there.
But do they have an issue page?
Yeah, they have an issues page, and it's missing Medicare for all or single payer. So that's a reason why I'm glad that there's certain people that's going to be going through the gauntlet. There's people who's not going to be going through the gauntlet that I'm going to be like, hey, I'm not even going to look at you as a candidate if you don't go through the gauntlet, and let me know where you stand on Medicare for all. Like eventually, I'm hoping that's the brand that even like a Charles Booker is going to do the People's Gauntlet at some point, and let us know where they. Well, and that's another thing, John. We know Charles Booker. We know his brand. He has come out. As a matter of fact, I'm about to show one of his tweets about Medicare for all. So we know him. What about somebody that we just don't have a clue who that person is? If I can't tell if you're a Republican or a Democrat, I think there's a problem.
Yeah, but what I'm saying to you is that we, as voters, we also need to, and I always talk about this. Like we always want to put the blame on the media and stuff like that, but the voters itself, we need to also do our own due diligence, and we have to go in and see.
Well, we go to his webpage.
No. But again, just be like, oh, okay, so his website is all be all. So it's like that's it.
I mean, that's the first starting place.
You got first starting place, but you should be able to do so. Like you got to go in and look at it. We know that social media is where a lot of people goes to it. So
listen,
I'm
cutting back on social media. I'm not gonna see his ads.
But that's you. But I'm saying
exactly.
Like,
so what about me? What if I'm in Kentucky? I'm working. I don't got time for that.
Yeah, but John, no, hold on, John. You have to readily admit that if you're a voter and all you want to do is understand the policies, social media is not the place to go to that. You're gonna see a whole bunch of pictures, and you're gonna see a whole bunch of garbage that doesn't have anything to do with policy.
What I'm saying is, if this guy goes in, right? If you this is what I'm taking. If he goes in, you get in, you have the issue page, and you're saying, well, if I don't see single payer, if I don't see Medicare for all X, they're not going to know people's guideline because we don't know if they really progressive, but they have 9 other things that are progressive. Like we gotta understand that the word Medicare for all doesn't work. It hasn't worked.
Yeah, but we talk all, and you and Gabe are some of the biggest proponents of you have to at least do the bare minimum, like the basics. This is the basics. This is the bare. This is the kneeling in a dashiki in the middle of Congress. Like this is the basics.
What I'm saying is your basic is you have your issue page, but because you don't have Medicare for all and single payer, we can't automatically say, well, we don't know.
Yeah, but he doesn't have an issues page.
I understand.
I looked at his website.
And that's what I'm saying. And that's a problem. And that's what I'm saying. That's a problem. But the question was, he doesn't have Medicare for all on his website. So there's a difference of not just having that specific word or not having an issue page. I completely agree. Every candidate should have an issue page, should definitely talk about it. But if we're saying, we don't see Medicare for all, single player buzzword, I'm not doing those. Those people ain't coming to the people's guidelines.
Let me tell this to you.
Oh, go ahead, Carlito.
If somebody says I'm for Medicare for all and the other person doesn't,
that's what I was going to ask.
One that goes for Medicare for all, period. If at the end of the day my candidate is not there, then I will judge whoever is left. If it's like in a ranked choice voting or something, I will rank the person with single payer above. But I'm not gonna completely eliminate him if he doesn't have it. But I'm not gonna rate him as highly as somebody that does.
But what I'm saying is, then, in me as a voter, if I have that, I'm gonna dig more into both candidates. And if somebody over there and all his ads and his social media talking about Medicare for all, and it's something that maybe he didn't put on his page, then you could do that research. So if you're saying, you as a voter, all you do is on a website and says, okay, Medicare for all, that's my guy or that's my girl or whatever, then that's fine. That's, but that's not like, I look at it, they have the issue page. If they don't have Medicare for all, I start digging more and trying to understand which candidate is who. So that's what I would do.
That's because you never had a 12-person primary where you had ranked choice voting like we did in New York.
I don't have ranked choice voting, but I had tons of like our state governor race was like 10 people, and I went through every one of them and I looked into it, and some of them didn't have Medicare for all, some of them did. And I went and looked, and then I ended up voting for the one that I thought it was be better. So, but that's what I did. I don't have ranked choice voting, but I had 8 candidates in races.
The one you voted for, did they have Medicare for all as an issue?
They didn't have Medicare for all as an issue.
They did not?
They did not.
Did not. Okay. Canceled. But anyway.
Wow. And the website, they didn't have it, but they were the ones they were the most progressive one out of the candidate. But
they were the ones that helped John's portfolio.
No, it has nothing to do with that. No, if you have helped my portfolio, I will vote for that dude, that Terry McGrath, whatever dude, that he's trash. So, but they were the progressive. They were the progressive that was endorsed by the Sunrise Movement.
I think was it the black woman? I can't remember her name. I know you.
Yeah, they were. They were endorsed. They were endorsed by the Sunrise Movement.
All right, it's 9 o'clock.
To give John some credit, if it's somebody in Kentucky. First of all, he should have an issues page. But besides that, if you're in Kentucky and you're trying to appeal to certain voters, I could understand him not explicitly saying, assuming he already had an issues page, and you judge him against the other people that are running. So it's not necessarily, because what if nobody says they're from Medicare for all? You're not gonna vote, So you gotta pick somebody.
Reclaiming my time.
Go ahead.
Reclaiming my time. All right. I want to say, out of this conversation, the person that has convinced me the most is actually Bedong. where Bedon said it doesn't matter what you have on your page, it matters how you vote. And I think that while I might not support the candidate in the primary if I don't know what their issues are, ultimately, if he gets in and he's a Trojan horse, and he, once he's in office, gets the right way, he can then turn around and get that support later on from us if he votes correctly, he or she, depending on the person.
How you know if the person's a Trojan horse, though? That's the thing. How you know?
We don't know. In this case, we're giving Charles Booker the benefit of the doubt, but then you also have somebody like Andrew Gillum in Florida, who we gave the benefit of the doubt, won the primary on Medicare for All, got into the general, and wouldn't even say Medicare for All during the debate. He wouldn't even say the words. So I think that.
But it doesn't think though. Like it's the same. What's that guy that what's the guy's name that we did that he was a progressive and he flipped?
Oh, Red.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, he had Medicare for All on his page. So that's what I'm saying. So just because you have somebody on your page, you just automatically vote for them. We have to, as voters, we have to educate ourselves as much as possible. And to me, it's like, if you have I agree, Charles Booker should have an issue page. That's definitely, every candidate should have an issue page. But I'm not going to be like, oh, no Medicare for All, no single payer. I need to dig more and try to get more and see what interviews they have done. Have they said it anywhere? Now, if you don't find it anywhere or something, you're like, okay, definitely not. Let me look at the other candidates. But you got to be able to just do some research too. That's becoming an educated voter.
I hate that you have to do homework to find out people's policy. Like I really believe that you should just be able to go to people's website, boom, 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 and then keep it moving. We're too busy for that. But let me show you this tweet real quick. So Charles Booker did have, this is why I support Medicare for All, and I'm sure this is
years ago.
Okay, so that's 2 minutes. So he tells his story about why he supports Medicare for All. So in this case, I would not cancel Charles Booker, definitely, because he has it all over his social media. But this is our guy Juan Paredes' website. His policy, first of all, he has a policy page, as you see right here. So that's check number one. Then he has healthcare, environment, education, public housing, et cetera, and then on his healthcare site, he has Medicare for All right here. The only proposal that can effectively provide the entire country with care in a lasting way is Bernie Sanders' Medicare for All proposal. Bam!
Why do you have to shout out to socialists, bro? Like, it's Florida. Why? He was good up to there. He just, it was unnecessary.
I wouldn't associate Bernie anything with Florida.
Just don't even mention it there. Just say Medicare for All. You don't have to go and bring up the most divisive politician in like South Florida politics.
I don't know exactly where Juan is. Does anybody know? Is he in South? I don't know if he's down there.
Yeah, he's in South Florida.
Oh, really? Oh, shoot. Okay.
He's like he's like Florida Keys and Everglades and like South like Homestead from the district when I was looking at it.
So that's interesting.
That's
the next time we have him on the show, we're gonna bring that up and just to get his take, his 2 cents. Yeah. And then
don't do it.
I want to so I was just about to ask PJ Chris, who's also in Florida, what she thought about that, her opinion, and she put Florida, DUH. So she agrees with Gabe. So hey, I'm not in Florida, so I'm going to take you guys' advice on that, and we'll see if
you don't need to be in Florida or Texas to know, or even sometimes Georgia to know what they're all about.
It's South Florida, especially, is where you can't really even mention Bernie's name. That's like an automatic loss.
Oh damn!
So we gotta get our boy to update that, because as a campaign donor, I want to make sure that he has the best opportunity to put himself in the best light.
Yeah. So with the last 6 minutes, or 5 minutes now, we're already in PJ overtime. Let's discuss Afghanistan real quick about what you guys think. Hopefully we can do this real quick. But whoever has a strong opinion, jump in right now.
I think we had to go. When? If not now, then when?
Yeah.
Next.
Yeah. Everybody, there's a lot of clips about the women, and unfortunately, there's a lot of interpreters that's going to be in danger. What y'all think about that?
We're not there for the women. We're not there for any of that. We were there for our personal interests. We're not humanitarian, because if we were humanitarian, we would fix the problems in our country first. But we are not. The only reason we were there for so many years is to feed the military industrial complex and to keep their pockets lined. And like Carlito said, if not now, when? I wish it was never, because if we would have taken all those trillions of dollars spent on that war and just invested it, for example, you could have covered every single built structure in America with solar panels for less than that cost of the wars in the Middle East. So I think that I look at it as money down the drain. I look at it as it's worse off than when we got there. And it's gonna be worse off, and it's a sad situation. But we can't be the world police, and every empire in its last days tries to overstretch their boundaries and tries to overstretch their colonization and things like that. And if we want to end up, as a failed government, then we have to continue those overseas policies. If we want to focus on sustainability and long term, then we have to not meddle in other folks' affairs.
100%. All right. So, with that said, we're going to end the show. Let's give some love to the chat. Unless anybody.
Let me say something. In an article that I saw today, said that the GOP quietly removed a webpage hailing Trump's peace deal with the Taliban as the militant group seized power in Afghanistan. Wow. So that's one of the things that I was, I like to give credit where credit's due, because even a broken clock is right twice a day. Trump did want to leave Afghanistan. And military people didn't want him to leave, the people that feed the beast. So he never did, because he was all talk, but he was for it. So they're trying to walk it back and trying to now that it's looking bad, they're trying to make it a Biden only thing. But Trump was for it; they were for it as well.
100%. Pookie Wood said, "Nah, Biden made the right call. Now he needs to allow refugees." Yeah, we have to bring interpreters over as safely as we can. I personally think that, the Joint Chiefs and the machine, or what people call the deep state, they didn't want to leave Afghanistan. So they probably pulled what the CIA did to the JFK with the Bay of Pigs, where they did the Bay of Pigs in a way to try to force JFK to send in the American military. And JFK, John F. Kennedy, did not fall for that. So I think this is just my speculation. I think that the Joint Chiefs and everybody did a blunder, a poor job of evacuating all the interpreters and the embassy. And now we see it's like all over the news. That's all they're playing. Oh, he's a mess. He's a mess. He's a mess. And we'll see if what Biden does. Is he gonna be a JFK and say nope? I understand, but we're going to still keep going, or we'll see what happens. All right.
I mean, that's what he said in his speech today.
Yeah, good. So let's finish up in the chat. Give the chat some love on our way out.
I wanted to real quick in the chat. Who was it? CMT said it could have paid for college and paid FMLA. I did some quick math while you guys were talking, and if we paid for paid college, which is about 60 billion per year, and homelessness, which is about 20 billion per year, we could have solved both problems for approximately 80 years.
Oh my God!
Just off of the cost of the Middle East wars, which I saw one site that estimated it at 6.4 trillion.
I was going to say that same number. Yep.
So 80 years of taxpayer funded college and homelessness.
How we're going to pay for that?
Yeah, we just did. We just paid for it right here. We're solving the world's problems. It's not rocket science.
I know the people that want to stay, take that money, invest it right now.
You just found information on the internet.
Hey man,
I did my research. I did my own research.
He's an expert now. He's an expert. All right. So CMT said that she got her Bernie sticker ripped off twice down there in Florida. So just giving an example of how hostile they are to Bernie down there in Florida. And what else we got? So Pookie, much love. Thanks for chatting. Much love to Gamer for Life. What's going on? Holly Horn. PJ Neat, I know he's in the building somewhere.
Yeah, thanks, Holly, for reminding me of Alec. Thanks, Holly.
Oh wait, there's somebody from Twitch. Yo, somebody from Twitch. Let's give that person some love. So I don't know how to pronounce that. Too. Yeah. The U.S. should have left Afghanistan years ago. They saw what they did to Iraq when they killed Saddam. The Iraqi people love Saddam, and we destroyed that country.
I don't know about love, but.
Yeah, I don't know about
the country.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. And I don't know if anybody watched that show on Netflix called like How to Be a Dictator or something like that. Izzy, you remember the name of it?
Yeah, Becoming a Dictator.
That man, I learned a lot about Saddam in that episode. I didn't know he took one of the people that were in the parliament. He coerced them to do what his bidding because he had his wife. He brought his wife and his daughter, and he said, "My soldiers are going to rape them if you don't read the speech." I was like, "Damn, these people! I'm gonna have them raped in front of you if you don't read the speech." And basically, after the guy read the speech with the name saying that he was going to commit a coup d'état against Saddam, and he named the names of other people in parliament. And as he was naming the names, the soldiers were taking them out. Because he was reading in front of Parliament, he was grabbing all those people, and they eventually got killed. I'm not going to go into all the details, but it didn't work out well. These weren't
even people who did anything. These were just made up names.
Exactly. I think it was just people who Saddam thought it was a threat to him, or just didn't like. So yeah. But anyway, let's end the show. 9/11. Let's end the show. Much love to my peoples. Let me go around the horn.
Shout out to Pookie Wood in the chat from Texas. First time I see them.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm in the mood to get canceled. So I gave kind of props to Trump already. I want to give Trump to Biden for a couple of things that I learned. One of the things for one of the bills that passed, they gave $5 billion to change zoning laws to allow building of affordable housing. Not a whole ton, but it's more than anybody else had ever done. And he increased SNAP by 25% as well. So, some good things.
I heard Kyle Kalinske said he might become a Biden stan. Like, I guess if he completes this Afghanistan exit, I'll give credit where credit is due. For me, I will actually, and I'm probably one of the only people who did not vote for Biden on this panel. I admit, I'm in New Jersey, it's a safe state, and I voted Green Party. But if he takes away my student loans and my wife, I would give him the vote in the general, not in the primary. But if he ran again, won the primary, and then went into the general, I would gladly give him my vote.
That's all we're asking for. Give us something. Yes. Don't slap us in the face. Don't spit in our face. Like, we probably would come around if he did like $15 minimum wage and like college. People probably come around. But 100%. It's just like middle finger.
I mean, no, if he's giving little things, they're just little tiny crumbs. The thing is that if he gives you crumbs and you're like, give him the middle finger back, he's not gonna give you a loaf of bread next time.
Exactly. All right. So Pookie, thank you so much for coming by. I see you said great show. Just happened to stumble upon it. So we're here every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please please subscribe. And, we give a lot of love to the chat. And that's it. Anybody? All right, Carlito, I'm not going to say any last words because we just did that again.
So don't throw the Discord link in the chat.
Yeah, throw the Discord link.
Tell them to play some music.
I'm not playing the music. Yeah. So Carlito, Gabe, Izzy, Bendone, John, we are the political junkies, and if you lasted this long, then you are a political junkie too. Yeah. Much love to my people. PJ Neat, Holly Horn, PJ Chris, Gamer for Life. And we want to give a shout out to let me turn off the music on this side.
And don't put some music.
Patreons, help it. The laptop fund.
We got Pedro Hernandez and Nancy Vancher. Thank you so much for being Patreons. All right, everybody.